Tiny Tina, how much fun has it been to play her character, and have you been able to bring some of your own ideas into the movie's interpretation of her?
Totally. I think that was kind of the main element of what made Tina so fun, is the creative freedom I had, especially collaborating with Eli Roth, the director of this film. He really kind of let me go crazy and let loose and kind of do whatever my instincts told me to do. And I think because Tina is so wild and so chaotic, it allowed for a lot of discovery and a lot of fun surprises that I got to do. But also because it was our own kind of version of these characters in this world, that I definitely added many layers of humanity to Tina, and I wanted either people to kind of connect to her or see the true her, and yeah, kind of see the light into this kid that is insane.
What are the ideas you're able to bring into her character?
Totally. I think mostly just like a laugh. Like I kind of created my own laugh and different like looks that she does to people. I think I like studied so much of Tina in the game and kind of her like vocal fluctuations. I mean, the original voice of Tina is so iconic and could not be copied, so I kind of made my own version of it. And yeah, I feel like the ideas kind of happened on the day and during the moment. Whatever kind of came to my head, I just did it, and yeah, it was fun.
Borderlands, announced in 2015. It's been a long road to get where we are today. What have been the biggest challenges adapting the video game to the movie?
You know, the biggest challenges for the producer Ariana Greenblatt and the game creator Randy Pitchford was cracking the story, because there's so many ways to go with the Borderlands movie that Ari and Randy spent 7 years working with different writers trying to crack it until they finally came up with this story with Lilith and the vault hunting and Pandora. And that's when I came on the film. So there was already been 7 years of development work before I came in, and I'm gonna bring in a whole new fresh perspective and new energy and rewrite the script to add the things that I wanna add in. And the first thing I said to Randy Pitchford was, I don't wanna come in and feel like I'm, stepping on your toes and doing the wrong thing. I need to be able to make a great sci-fi movie. I wanna make, I think we can make Fifth Element. I think we can make, something that's a mix of Mad Max and Star Wars, Escape from New York, like something that has all these elements of these movies that I love so much, but it's really an adaptation, not a recreation. And he said, don't worry, he said, think of Marvel. The comics are the comics, the movies are the movies. He goes, and I'm here as a resource I don't want to change something that the fans will be like, whoa, that's going too far. So anything I wanted to adapt, I could run it by Randy. He's like, oh, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. We could do that in the game. So that was great. So having Randy on my side really helped.
Which of the actors on the Borderlands set have reminded you most of the characters from Borderlands? Who is the most sort of ideally suited?
I weirdly want to say Jamie is similar to Tannis, specifically because Jamie's so smart and she's so knowledgeable about a broad spectrum of things, and so is Tannis. So I feel like they have similarities. Also, Florian and Krieg weirdly have very similar characteristics. And 13-year-old me was 100% very similar to Tina, aside from like the brutally murdering, violent part.
How do you feel as well? The movie has captured the vibe of the video games in terms of visually and humor.
Totally. I feel like Eli and even the entire cast really, really cared about keeping the nostalgic and familiar aspects of the video game. I mean, the worlds and sets that they created are so similar to the real video game, coming down to the very minute details and newspapers and posters. So I think props and set production really, really nailed it with coming to life with the world that we know in the video game. And also the costume department, they really put in so much details, and I remember spending a lot of time with the costume department really figuring out where I want specific pins or how I want her hair to look with the hair department. So I think the physical traits and the worlds we created are very, very similar to the video game, which is important for the fans.
Obviously, you mentioned about the cast: Ariana Greenblatt, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis. What's it been like working with such a big, amazing cast of actors? And which of those actors do you feel closest resembles to the Borderlands characters?
Well, certain ones like Benjamin Byron Davis playing Marcus has the physicality, the voice, and I've known Ben for a long time. I was like, Ben's Marcus. You see Marcus in the game, you know it's going to be Ben. Other ones like Lilith, Kate was the first one I went to, and I had done The House of the Clock in its Walls with Kate and Jack Black, and I said, I want to do like a Snake Plissken kind of badass character with you as this bounty hunter, and she said, Escape from New York's my favorite film. And I was like, oh, of course it is, but no one would know to ask Kate about Escape from New York when she's doing her press for Tar. And I thought, everyone wants to see her with a conductor stick. I want to see her with a flamethrower. I wanted the Ellen Ripley mowing down the bandits, and she's like, I'll do it. I'll learn to use a flamethrower. She's going to twirl and shoot guns. She said, I want to learn to do as many of my stunts as possible. We're ratcheting her, like, all right, be careful with cinema royalty. Kate Blanchett, we put her on the ratchet and pull her 40 feet in the air. And she was incredible. And once we had Kate, I knew I had to have Jack to play Claptrap. And Jack's a huge gamer and fan of the game, so he really got the character, had a great, putting his own spin on it. And that was, when you hear Jack doing Claptrap, you're like, of course he's Claptrap. Kevin Hart wants to come in his role. And we said, Kevin and I said, we're like, look, we know what people are gonna say as soon as we announce the casting. So the only way you're gonna respond is with the work. We're not gonna explain it or defend it. I said, I need a scene of you just killing hundreds of people, so that people know you're a soldier. You're gonna be like knifing, shooting, turning, unbroken, camera following you, not stunt doubles, not green screen, not cuts, like you actually doing it. And Kevin is like, that's all I've been wanting to do. And then you have Edgar Ramirez, all these other, actors, this incredible cast that we got. But, Tiny Tina, Ariana Greenblatt auditioned, and I talked about Natalie Portman in Leon, the professional, that character Matilda. And I said, that's not just a great child performance. That is a great performance, period. And she just brought it. It was totally unhinged. It was so fun. She's such a good actor. She's so smart. She was Tiny Tina. There's such great actors. It was just easy for me. But when you see Florian as Creed, you're like, oh, that's identical to the video game. But everybody brought something special to it.